So we're a maid service now?
Oh yeah, we are Tire Kingdom, cleaning services, car stereo services, detailing services.
Services?
Just to stop by. 5-star. We got you.
Oh my gosh. You're a mess. Well, hey guys, how's everybody doing today? Sorry we haven't been up and talking to you guys this week so far. We actually recorded this one. That was one of the reasons why we were busy on this. So this is, even though it's a Mustang, we know we've done a couple of them. It's all right. This was a fun one. This was an all Alpine build. Customer provided us with this X-type amplifier here, but we went with the R-type 6-channel. And of course, he didn't have his cool little logo there, so Fernando had me make a 5-star logo. So you have the cool, you know, just so it's not ugly, just missing everything. And of course, yeah, we did some wiring. But he's got, so he brought his amp and the R-Type 210 ported box there. Sounds wonderful. Hola, what's up?
Hey.
Oscar. He went with the Alpine 3-way set, and I know what you're saying. Alpine doesn't have a 3-way set, but actually they do, in the sense that they have these, which are the 30 MCs. That sounds like an old rap song, 30 MCs.
30 MC. Okay.
Yeah. And the idea behind these is you can pair those up with either the R-Type or the X-Type. He went with some X-Types here, and that'll get you your 3-way set. The only problem is there's no crossovers. And that's where the A90S or RA90S comes into play, because it's a 6-channel amplifier. We'll explain all that in the video, so that'll be cool. But suffice it to say, if you're planning on putting X-types in your Mustang, go with the R-types, or just block off a good portion of your day to make those things fit, because what a pain in the butt that was. Question D, I'm adding Morels 692s in the 2010 Tacoma. How thick do I make the door adapter for those 6x9s, if I recall? Off the top of your head. Did we just not use the factory Metro ones for the Toyota with the Morels? Don't we just use the Metro brackets? I think we just use the Metro brackets for that. I mean, if you want to make your own, that's fine. You may need to add, you're right. You may need to add to the, off the top of my head, man, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go with a no on that one. You're going to like them, but I don't remember. I thought we always used the factory brackets, but now that the Metro brackets, but now I'm thinking about it, I think we actually added like a 1/4 inch to it. So I don't know, man. Sorry. Why does Metro kits have bad rear view camera quality? I don't think it's the Metro kit that's causing the problem. I don't have one over here. What happens is you get noise from just the whole integration change. I'm sure they make a noise filter for it. If they don't, PAC and iData do. They both make factory camera noise filters that will, if you're getting like lines or snow or anything like that, that'll fix all that. If you do iData, just go to go to the app, like you're going to program for that car and run it in demo mode. And when you get to the screens where they show you all the accessories, when you're on the accessories page at the bottom, they'll give you the part number for their noise filter for factory backup cameras. If you're an Amp Global dealer, then you can just call them up and ask. I don't remember what the part number is, but both of those companies do make noise filters, so I'm sure Metro does. They might not talk about it, though. What's up? 2015 F-150 with the Sony and using an Amp Pro. If I grab the speaker wires at the kick panel and run, is that okay? Because to remove the factory amp in the center console is kind of fun. I mean, I removed the amp in the center console. I'm all for fun, because at some point you're going to have to pull it out. So you might as well just do it now and get it over with. All right, back to this Mustang real quick. Up in the dash here, he went with the Alpine 409. It actually centered up really nice. You get full gauge cluster as well as you got plenty of room to get your knobs. I like it. It's nice. It tucks in there, like right there. Like there's like a hair between touching the dash, so that's nice. For wireless, he went with the ZZ Air CarPlay, and he's also the data kit. This is the MFT1, comes with the HDMI. This is HDMI in and out, so he's doing HDMI as well. I don't think he'll ever use it. Nobody ever does, but that's what's going on inside the dash. But we did a whole video on it so you can see all that. One more look again at the trunk. So nice. Yep. Okay. All right, we can put it all back together.
All right.
One of the things that we did to this, because this is a Roush, and he's going to drive it like he stole it, because why wouldn't you? He had already bought the thicker plywood board here, which is why normally if you've ever seen us do Mustangs, there's always a center brace that comes up to hold things, so we didn't have to do that on this. Yay. If you have a Mustang and you're going to do something, I strongly suggest buying one of these. But if you'll notice this piece right here, this is so the box isn't going to slide around and go crazy. It stops the box, so the box will come. Now, if he needs to get the box out, all he has to do is lift the box up, slide it forward, and turn it, and the box will come out nice and easy. So when he's on track day, he doesn't have to worry about like unscrewing the box or undoing brackets or anything like that. This is how we secure the box in place. Now when he folds the seats up, that'll lock it in nice and tight. But yeah, it's still totally easy to get out. We do this on pretty much when someone asks us to do this, so it's kind of cool. Dina's man, hello from Arkansas. Thank you. I blame it all on Fernando. Alpine Type R versus Rockford Fosgate P3. That's a good question. You know, I kind of flip-flop between those two. Especially in like a Fox box. Every now and then someone wants, you know, something other than a Rockford, and the default for it, believe it or not, is the R-Type 10. Because it usually will fit right in there. And they sound great. I mean, I have nothing against the R-Type. I think it's a fabulous woofer. My biggest complaint with the R-Type in general, or R-Series, or whatever they're calling it now, is that they've been calling it that for like almost, it feels like 20 years. And like, I get it, but everyone else kind of like evolves, comes out with new stuff. But I will say this. You're going to find out something about Alpine soon enough. Like in a month. Yeah, because it's February. Yeah, in a month. So that'll make me happy. It's going to make you guys happy too, but we can't talk about it. Okay. Tina Fernando, that wiring is phenomenal. Thank you, Johnny. How's it been, man? I have a 2020 Mustang and looking to have you install the Type R 210s and Hertz. The only problem with Hertz is Hertz doesn't make a small mid-range. They only have like a 4-inch, which isn't going to fit in the door of this, so I don't know if Hertz is the way to go. You may want to go up to maybe Focal, like the Flax. But yeah, or maybe it's tough because they don't, or go to the Morel. Like the Tempo, what is it? Maximus, one of those. Maximo 3-way set would fit in this really nice. But if you're looking for overall loud, I think the Flax would be the way to do it. But that mid-range isn't going to fit in the door. It needs to be like a 3 or smaller to get up into this top location. To fit here, there's not a lot of room and there's not a lot of depth. So, yeah. Plus, you put a 4 behind a 3.5-inch hole, it's kind of a waste. Hertz used to have the HL70 3-inch mid. If they still have that, then it's fine. I haven't really, because they make the kit all together, so it's like you'd have to buy them a la carte, which I don't think Hertz does. Yeah, it's weird, but they might make that HL70 mid-range. I don't know. We never use them for that. All Morel audio control amps, DM608. Yeah, that would work. Or just go with the D series amplifiers with the DSP built in. But Dean, you can't tell us about Alpine, so you're I quit. I'll quit before I'm fired. I've talked about it before on some of the other shows, what they got coming out, but they asked us not to say anything anymore until I think they're doing a big unveil on like March 1st or one of those things where they're going to introduce a whole bunch of new stuff. So it's going to be pretty cool. But I mean, if you're an Alpine fan, you're going to be all cheesed up. That's for sure. Help please. On my truck, I have a nice center image, but it's between the center vent. I just can't get it to come up. Any ideas, please and thank you. So you have a low problem. So it's center but low. Don't ever really run into that much. I guess you'd have to if everything is low, like if you don't have anything high up in the dash, you're just going to run into that problem, moving stuff up. That's why, like the tweeters are on the A-pillars or in the corners of the dash. So if you don't have that, then yeah, everything is going to sound like down low. That'd be a great question when we get Jeff on next time to see if he could, if he's ever ran into that problem. Because I don't think we ever have. Or if we have it, I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing on that one. Sorry, but no, that's a great question. We'll have to save that one for Jeff Smith. Oh, that's funny. What enclosure is that? It fits nice. I want to say it's just like the
regular.
Yeah, what was that brand?
Q Power.
Q Power.
Like that?
Yeah, I think it's just a Q Power 210. I mean, it's nothing fancy, that's for sure. I mean, he brought it with him, but I think it's just a Q Power 210. But yes, it does fit great.
Yeah.
I think the Rockford box also fits too.
What is the other one?
I know. Audio enhancers?
No, the other one.
Oh, I don't know. 2010 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sport with no Infinity system. Could you recommend me a couple of good head units to install in this for my daughter's first ride? CarPlay is the only must-have. If you want something like 2010, obviously Alpine ILX W650 would go in there really nice. They also make a Jeep version of that called a WRA. So it's like 407 WRA or something like that. The advantage of the WRA is it actually comes with the metal brackets for the Jeeps. They're really nice. We sell them separately. You can get them from Pack Parts, not to be confused with Amp Global. Pack Parts is a company out of California that sells those. But Alpine makes the WRA radios, which are really nice for those older Jeeps because the plastic on those dashes suck. I check those out, and they're going to have CarPlay and stuff like that. RF 360 versus audio-controlled DM608. I'm going to go with the DM608 just because it's, like, current. Yeah, that's really about it. I mean, if you've worked with the 360 and you're comfortable with the 360, go for it. But for me, it's just kind of like there's better stuff out now. And, they've kind of moved on. They just haven't done anything with it. Flax running off of VXI or Audison Prima at... I'm going to go with the VXI. I feel like the VXI may have a little bit more power. If we're talking Prima, I mean, you'd have to do Forza for sure. Because the regular Prima is only 35 watts. The Forza is 70 watts. But, I mean, both of them are right around that 70, 80 watts. So they're only going to get... I mean, it's still going to sound good. I mean, they're both going to be nice. But I would definitely look at Forza. You could also look at the Helix. What is it? The Helix makes a 8-channel, 6-channel with DSP built in it too. Yeah, is it a P6?
P6.
I don't know. Did Alpine and Rockford drop from K-Fest? Okay, Rockford hasn't been to K-Fest. Rockford actually dropped out of K-Fest back in 2019. Was it 19? Did they go to California?
No.
No, they didn't go to California. So actually, the Dallas of 2018 was the last time Rockford went to a K-Fest. They pulled out altogether a long time ago. Had nothing to do with COVID. They were just done with the show. This year, they're putting all their eggs into Mobile Solutions Master Tech Expo. And they're going to have Rockford Land there, apparently. So I think if you're a Rockford fan and you got the money, you can go to, anyone can go to Master Tech Expo if they're willing to pay to go, because it's a pay-per-play event open to anyone that wants to pay. But Rockford is going to have Rockford Land there. So that's where they decided to put their expenditure at. As far as Alpine going to Knowledge Fest, I don't know if they were on the docket or not. I know they went to Dallas, but I don't know if they were scheduled to go to... I haven't looked at who's supposed to be there. We did get a call today from Morel. We've got to figure something out for them, because apparently they're doing a training, so... Yay, Morel! So... Alpine has been quiet lately as well. No news, no video. Alpine's going to explode, okay? And when you talk about they've been quiet lately, they just dropped the F1 status. They've literally been talking about the F1 status for like the last 6 months.
I don't think that's quiet.
I mean, it's yeah. So, and that's supposed to be, yeah, they're supposed to be there because they're having their vendor meeting while they're there. So, and they're supposed to have the
Who say they're not gonna be there?
I don't know, but no, they're supposed to be there. I don't know if they dropped out, but because I can find out later today. I'll find out later today. But no, because they're supposed to be having a big meeting there for all their reps, and they're supposed to show their reps the Tesla. So unless they've dropped out in the last day or so, I don't know. Anything's possible, man. Tom Brady retired yesterday. I mean, who knew, right? It's crazy. Speaker placement too low. Yeah, but I don't know what kind of car it is, Oscar. But yes, that would cause that problem. Audio control, LC 4.800, runner metals up front and a single sub in the rear. Do I go with DVC sub for 2 ohm load to bridge the rear channels? No, you need a 4 ohm load. So, I mean, you can get a dual voice coil 2 ohm driver, and that will give you a 4 ohm load at the amplifier, but you need, when bridging channels 3 and 4, you need a 4 ohm load. However you achieve that, doesn't really matter, but a dual 2 will get you to a 4 ohm load because you're going to series the voice coil. But yeah, you have to. Elias, what's up?
Hey.
On the 2015 F-150, I put type R's and kicker key. The sound output was really low. Any ideas? Because I would have to turn the amp gain really high to get some decent volume. Ooh, that doesn't make any sense. None at all. Oh man, I don't know. Most of the time with the kicker key going high level into anything, you need no gain at all. It's right ready to go. If you're having to turn it to get any volume at all, something's... I mean, if you got the happy tones, then that's good when you programmed it, but no, you shouldn't have to crank the shit out of it to get sound out of it. Yeah, that's odd, for sure. Just pick up the Kenwood. What's your thoughts on the radio to build a system? I don't know that particular model number Kenwood. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't know it. I can't tell you. There's too many of them. I'm sorry. Tweeters on pillar, and when I changed the amp to an Evo 404, I got louder but lost imaging. Well, you got louder, so you're gonna have to readjust everything. You're gonna have to re-EQ. So if you change volume of something, then you have to go back and re-EQ it, because now the blending between the mid-range and the tweeter is different. So you got to start over. Nav TVs NA to be in a Raptor. Do I cut the power harness off and run the power and ground into my distribution block from the power and ground from the battery? No, plug it in. Leave the power and ground the way it is. The only time they say that is if you have any noise issues, and I can tell you right now, we've never had any noise issues. We've never cut that harness. We've always ran a pigtail just in case, but we've never cut the harness off, so we've never needed it. So don't even worry about it. Just hook it up the way they want you to, and just be good. If I put 2 layers of sound deadener on the roof, will it sink? I mean, it'll be heavy as shit. That's all. Thanks. What about a nice upgrade for speakers in that 2000 Jeep Wrangler Sport? If you're just gonna do deck power, especially if you're looking at the Alpine. Alpine makes their cool little 4-channel amplifier that is designed to connect to the short chassis radios. I would do that and maybe go with some Rockfords up front. I mean, you can still do R-types. You know, if you can go for an old Alpine system, the R-types are extremely loud. The new Alpine R-types or R-series or Rs, we'll just call them. They have a redesigned tweeter that is just screaming compared to what it used to be, which is pretty cool. Ran with Audio Frog GB25s on dash, GB20s and Morel 6-inch pitch. Why would you switch to the Morel mids? The GB60s are like, I would go with GB60s. I mean, I love Morel, but dude, that GB60 is like insane. Like, that's an awesome speaker. What do you guys think of the XD606? What is that? Is that a JL?
No, I think that's the, it's not the Kenwood?
No, that's a PXR 606. It's got XD. It's got to be it's got to be
JL?
The JL. We just put one in last week. Nice amp. It's cool because as you click, the crossovers are click. So you don't need a crossover calibrator. Literally in the owner's manual, it'll tell you what the crossover frequency is, and you just count the clicks. You know, it's like 22 is this, and you just 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's so cool. I wish everybody did that. That would be awesome. I've got audio control LC 1.800 and the ACM 4.300. Okay.
Yeah.
Are Type R good for Jeep to get louder or JBLs because JBL tweeters are a little more bright? I mean, if the only thing you want is bright tweeters, then just get the Rockford T2s. That's it. That's end of story. Just done. Here you go. Loud, crazy. You know. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
I think you're splitting hairs at that point. Hey, sorry, we're back. It paused for a second. Glitched. Oh yeah, no problem. We will. I was planning on it, Oscar. But he's not going though. But.
It's okay. I take the Tesla and we just
drive it
some
home.
Donuts outside the hotel.
Yeah, but maybe he can help us with the other problem we have. Because I wonder if his car is left. Because he could always just put the boxes in the car. Ooh, Oscar, we need to talk like now. But speaking of that, listen, guys, I'd like to stay and chat all day, but we got a full day ahead of us. We just finished this Mustang. We got to get it out to the customer. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. It's been fun. It's been great. We'll see you. Bye.
Bye, guys. That's crazy how 70 watts sounds. What?
Everyone's going to be like, what is he talking about?
Exactly.
What is he talking about?
Dude, 70 watts. That's the only thing you need.
That's the only thing you need?
That's it.
70 watts?
70 watts in your life, baby.
Okay. 70 watts and variable bias? Oh, okay.
Hey, 70 watts and 212.
70 watts and 212s. What's up, Morel?
Hey.
Hey, we don't have Kenwood training to do, Morel, so we're all yours at Knowledge Fest. We just have audio. We just have audio control and whatever you want us to do. I was going to text you today, but we've been running a land speed record. This is a dually. This ruins the day for us. It will not fit inside the install bay.
Why would not fit?
It would not fit.
Why?
Because it's exactly a ½ inch on either side if we were to pull it in.
The booty is too big.
The booty is too big. Apple bottom jeans, for sure.
Dude, that's
You know what that means, right?
what?
Apple bottom jeans? Yeah, Anyways. Good Ford again. Yep. So this is an F350. I don't want to diminish
This is F350.
This is F350. Listen, guys. Do me a favor. If you're going to have us work on any vehicle of yours, like a truck, and it's got one of these rubber floor mats on it, for the love of God, don't put Armor All on it. Please. Like,
Dude,
we've almost killed ourselves. Like, a million times today trying to get in and out of this thing. It's just like, slip, crap, you know, and just like, oh, it hurts so bad. But this one's cool. So a little story. I'll get to the questions in a minute. Gentleman showed up. He's seen the F-150 videos. Obviously an F350 has an F-150 cab now. Thank God. Way to go. Ford using their brains. But the problem was that normally a job like this takes 2 days. You really can't shave a day. So I thought about it for a little while, and I was like, hey, here's an idea. Why don't we take the first day, because a lot of the times the first day is like building the amp rack, getting the speakers, just getting everything ready to go. There's so much work to do in one of these, you know, cutting the bass knob, flex looming all the wire. And I was like, what if we could spend one day just no car, but doing the car, meaning we build the amp, all those things I just talked about, we just get those done. And then the second day drops off the car in the morning, and all we have to do now is just put everything in because it's all built. And then on the third day, which would be tomorrow, if we didn't have enough time, he could come back and we could tune it. So that was the game plan for this. Luckily, we actually went a little faster than we thought we did because we prepped yesterday pretty hardcore, and today went smooth. So we're done with it now, which is really awesome. So he doesn't have to come back tomorrow, and that frees us up to do more stuff tomorrow. That was a mistake. Anyways, let me show you what we did in this, because it was actually really cool. A lot of people complain that like Kicker doesn't have any amplifiers, and the amplifiers that they do have are wrong and they're not powerful enough, and it's like, you guys are missing the boat. So a couple years back, when I was at Kicker, you know, I started looking at some of the other products they were making, because like I didn't know they made a giant 2-channel marine amplifier. It's like a 1200 watt amplifier to power their big 10-inch tubbies. And I was like, wait, why do you guys have this giant 2-channel amplifier? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's really cool. Then I started looking closer. Turns out they make an 8-channel amp. I was like, we don't have an 8-channel amp in the 12-volt line, like for car, but we have one for boat. And they make a affordable, like a CSX, their inexpensive yellow stuff. They make a marine version of that with a 6-channel. And I'm like, oh, for the love of God, guys, seriously? So what we did in this, which is what we love to do, is a full active system. So what we have is a Kicker 6-channel, and then a Kicker big-ass monoblock right here. Same heatsink design, I mean, other than the green and the silver, which I'm not worried about, but the amplifiers look, for the most part, identical because they're the same series, but we get 6 channels, so we can go full active, front tweeter, front mid, and rear. And then we go big-ass subs underneath the back seat, and this gorgeous Super Duty Fox acoustic box. Wow, he's got 2 Alpine R-Type 10s in there with grills. Honestly, the fit and finish of this is awesome. I think this is one of his newer boxes, but man, that thing's a beast. And it hammers hardcore because they're regular R-Types. We have the T-Spec distribution here. So this is 2 0-gauge in, 2 fuse holders, ground distribution, everything. We kept the power wire really short between the big amp and this. And then of course we were able to lengthen out to the smaller, this guy here, which only draws like 80 amps of current. Takes a 4-gauge in. But this is a 6-channel. So that's awesome. And in the XR line, which of course we can't get XR anymore, but you can get XR Marine, which they call something else, and they have an 8-channel amplifier, which is pretty badass. So Kicker makes multi-channel amplifiers that you can buy and put in your car and do active. You don't have to buy the little tiny 4 channels and all that nonsense. You just get green instead of silver. And at the end of the day, it goes behind the seat. I really don't care. I just want the power. Right, Fernando?
So for me, quarter it. Oh, I mean,
you can call them. We're done.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So there you go. Little pro tip of the day. Sometimes check the marine category.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what you find. And that obnoxious sound that you're kind of hearing in the background is the barbershop's air compressor. I apologize. We can't turn it off. It's not ours. So for integration, this is a 2020. There is no integration into this. We did a DSR1 because this is just a base model, non-BO, non-anything like that. So it's high level out of the radio into the DSR1. This does use the new Ford harness. If you guys haven't seen that, I can show you what that looks like because no one makes a T-harness for it. So if you caught the Expedition video or Explorer video we did, where we made a new harness of our own, that's what we did in this, so it can easily be plugged back in. So this is the old Ford harness here that you guys have probably seen before. This is the new Ford harness. Yay! This is what comes in the MFT1 kit for integration. So that's cool. The top harness behind the screen is the same. This one is a little bit different. So we just made our own T-harness, not using a Ford because those aren't out yet. They're coming, but they're not out yet. So, are you a fan of Treo Engineering? You know, okay, so here you go. There you go. Treo Engineering. That's supposed to be black, but, you know, the sun has faded it. Never did much with it, but someone donated that to the wall, so it's kind of cool. All right, let me go back here and see which one. Hold on a second. I added a 4-channel amp and LC7i to my 2019 Ford Fusion and can hear static sounds as if the radio is okay. So any 2019 Ford, if you did an LC7i, if you didn't do LGDs, you're going to need the LGDs. You could be getting some high frequency distortion from the fact that the factory system is not liking you. For 2019, get the AC LGDs, which is the blues. And that should operative word, should clear up any of the problems you're having in the high frequency range. Boots with fur, thank you. Yeah. Hey, do you guys get to keep the ground zero gear that's in the lab? Yes, we do. It's actually, we've had it for months now. I broke the amplifier early on. Like, we've been waiting to finish this for a long time. That's why we said at the end, full disclosure, the speakers have been in Fernando's car for a long time. They have. I blew up the amplifier, so I had to send it back and get it repaired. I like to break stuff, you know, so I broke it like the one night we were doing it many months ago, so it was really depressing. So we had one video left to film, which is getting into the car and actually listening to it, which was pretty awesome. It does sound really nice. Oscar! Also, is Fernando planning on at any point to go throughway front in his car? No, we don't really want to do a throughway front in his car. I mean, he would like to, but it's not in the cards just because there are more two-way components out there that we can do more testing with, whereas a throughway component just gets kind of ridiculous. We did buy him a new set of the sail panels where the tweeters are mounted because it's really hard to get a tweeter. Like that ground zero tweeter pretty much tapped it out. We're not getting anything bigger than that in there, which kind of sucks. So I went on eBay and ordered a set of new sail panels, and at some point we're going to just remake those with like a 2.5 hole so that we can just interchange whatever tweeter we want in the front of it. That's called prepping. Yeah, we got macaroni and cheese and oatmeal packs hidden in the seats. So, definitely. Since these trucks and Jeeps seem to be common, do you pre-make a few amp racks to have ready, say 2 or 3? No, we're not that cool. And also the price of plastic right now is through the roof. I mean, it is ridiculous. So, yeah. Prepping stuff like that, not anything we're good at. Plus, the other thing is most of the time, like when we have free time, we have other stuff we have to do. So, like make phone calls and just so we had to plan a day specifically. Like, and even yesterday, if you caught the Instagram show, we were working on that other car, and that car was already supposed to have been gone. And we were supposed to have all day, so we started the prep work on this way later than we wanted to, and somehow we still managed to stay on task, which is just because we were running around just like, I'm tired. Let's just go with that. Did you build the amp rack board? Of course I built the amp rack board. I mean, can you go full active out a DSP? funny you should ask that. If you watch the Ground Zero, the one that everyone's talking about in here with the uraniums, we walk you through the whole process. Actually, tomorrow would probably be the best day to wait, because tomorrow you get the whole big long install lab that takes you from the beginning all the way through the end. So it's like past 2.5 weeks of fun and excitement there. But we walk you through the process and explain to you what it would take in order to do a full active system without a DSP. So yes, it's possible. You just have to tick a few boxes. Make sure to post it in 12-volt Clean Wire Club group. You might make the cover of the week. Oscar said, make sure to post the amp rack in the Clean Wire Club.
Nah, it's not that good.
It's not that good. I know. I mean, yeah. Fernando would never pick me. I mean, he has before, and I feel honored every time he does. Will that Marine still work with stop-start Ford F-150? So it's supposedly built off of the same power supply section as all those amplifiers, and those amplifiers are designed to work down to 9 volts. So technically, yes, it should work. Operative word should, but we'll see. All right, answered that. All right, so we caught up all the early guys. Let's go here. All right, let's move on. Dean, can I use glue putty to mount my tweeters in stock locations if I don't have made mounts? I mean, you can use whatever you want. That's entirely up to you. Not a big fan of that stuff, but yeah, at some point everyone tacks a tweeter in using some form of like 2-part glue or some epoxy or something like that. It's no one's gonna sit there and say, oh no, I never do that. It always happens. Can you use an epicenter with an Amp Pro 31 for bass restoration? As long as there is an RCA that plugs into the amplifier, then yes, you can use an epicenter, because it just has to be able to go before the input on the amplifier. Oscar says, I have a template for most common ones, but I don't pre-make them. Exactly. It takes up space. What's free time mean? I know, right? Yeah, no kidding, right, Lance? Oh, man, you got lots of free time, though, bro. Come on. I've seen all your YouTube videos. I pay good money for pre-cut amp rack. I mean, MTI does sell those. They're nice. I mean, we've used a couple of them just because people, when they buy the box, like they'll throw in the amp rack or something. So we've used them. Yeah. AudioFrog GS60s and GS10 tweeters on Sound Digital amp or other amp. Do you recommend going active with them? Yeah, I don't see why not. Keep in mind, and this is the big dark secret of Sound Digital, it actually is a volume knob. I know we've been for years telling you that the gain is not a volume knob. On the Sound Digital, the gain is a volume knob. So the lower you can keep it, the better the amplifier will sound. And most Sound Digital amplifiers are way more powerful than the actual speakers you're attaching to them. So keeping the volume knob or gain down is a real easy thing to do. So I would just, keep it. And they still put out a ton of power with that volume knob low. Have 2 amps running 6 speakers, 2 amps running 6 speakers, and I saw both going through DSP. Have a static noise through all speakers, even when radio is off. Got signal from factory amp. Any suggestions? Well, the first thing, anytime you have a static or noise issue or something like that, is, can we shut the truck and arm it? Just let it sit. Is to disconnect the source unit and see what would happen, especially if you're doing high level. Or off a factory amplifier. Just bypass the factory amplifier and run something else into it and see if it's still there, because you need to find out what is causing the problem. There's a lot of things that can make or break a system, and just assumptions usually one of the worst. So by just eliminating something and working your way from there, and the most obvious one is the source unit. So disconnecting that, maybe switch to an aux input or something like that and run your phone directly into it might be a good place to start. Would you recommend a Maestro RR or Pack Pro for 2010 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited? On a Jeep, listen, anytime I have the opportunity to use an RR, I use an RR. It's just way cooler. Even if the radio doesn't support RR, you can use it as a smart harness, which using it as a smart harness is really smart because like you get to program all your steering wheel controls and have them the way they're supposed to be, and you don't accidentally go in there and like hit what you think is push to talk and all of a sudden it's mute, and then you got to go through and reprogram the module, and it's like, no, that's a pain in the butt. I like just plugging it into my laptop and knowing that, hey, this is going to work when I'm done. So that's that. Hey, I'm adding an LCQ1 into my system. How do I set the crossover in the amp? Do I set them on full or high pass? Well, the LCQ1 doesn't have any crossovers at all in it. It's just an EQ. So if you're going to be running highs, you're going to set it to high pass. And if you're going to be running subs, you're going to set it to low pass. But yes, you have to set the crossover on the amplifier because it does not have one built in. It's just for equalization. What's the biggest speaker you've put in the dash for 2015 Silverado? Guessing a 3.5? Is it a 3.5? I think it's a 3.5. Probably just a 3.5. Yeah. I mean, you're not fitting a 6.5 up there without doing some major modifications. I mean, you could put a 12-inch subwoofer. You could put a 12-inch subwoofer up there. That's what Fernando says. Is it still a good rule to double speaker RMS power or choose an appropriate amp? Listen, most amplifiers are putting out more power than most speakers know what to do with. I really don't have a rule of thumb per se. I just get real powerful amplifiers and team them up with speakers that I like. I know it like we should have some science behind it, and we should be able to go like, hey, you need to. It's a different world, man. It's a different world because this is, we get to hear these things, so I understand that like you don't, and it's what we do. So like we know what most speakers sound. Well, we know what all the speakers we sell sound like, and we know what the amplifiers will do for power. Sometimes we're surprised, and other times we're not. But yeah, I mean, so for example, the F350, it has the it has the kicker marine. Let me get it's the KMA 600.6, and does this have a power rating on it somewhere? So it has power rating of at 4 ohm, 50 watts by 6. All right, 50 watts by 6, and you're like, oh, that sucks. Like that big ass amplifier, and it only puts out 50 watts by 6. But they're teamed up with a set of Focal plug and play. So this is the Ford, this is the coaxial, and the components are right there. According to the front of this, it says 120 watts, which cut that in half is 60 watts. So these speakers, with their power handling and their efficiency, rock big time with these. And Fernando, what did you say when you sat in the car?
I say the only thing you need is like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they sound really nice, man.
Yeah. So it's not rocket science. It really isn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What's up, Flynn? My tweeters handle 300 watts.
What?
What amp do I need?
300 watts.
You need a Sound Digital 1200.2. For sure. That was good, though. Flynn Audio, check them out. They do awesome work, by the way. If you're not following here on Instagram, check them out. And they do alarms. We don't. Sucks to be them, but hey. Dean, you're right about the Audio Frog 6x8s that I put in my Lincoln Town Car. I never knew that coaxial could sound so good. Don't doubt the Frog, man. I might not like frogs, hoppy things, but I like Audio Frog. And he's a cool guy. I had an old 6-channel amp that was 50 watts RMS per channel, and I switched to a brick amp with the same wattage per channel and lost volume and clarity. Sound familiar, Fernando? Mm-hmm. We were talking about this same topic last night as we were finishing up the Ground Zero. Wow, it's like an echo. Yeah. watts are not all watts, man. I can tell you that right now. Everyone, it's we're all chasing this number using something like this guy right here. Like, we all look at this and we all think this is the end-all be-all of what makes an amplifier spectacular, because this guy here says it puts out a shit ton of power. Well, great. But the reality is, no, there's a lot more to it. And 50 watts of amazingly built sound is going to destroy way more power than that in just a half-ass built amplifier. So vulgar today. Must be because it's Thursday. You know what happens Thursday?
What happened Thursday?
Thursday, I go over to the Hi-Fi Vega network and we do reverse polarity, followed up by Side Jag, where we're going to talk about another crappy movie called The Last Duel.
Wow, you guys have a lot of time to do stuff.
No, we don't. I actually fast-forwarded through the movie. It sucks so bad. But
Why would you say that?
because I want to talk about something else tonight, because that movie sucks so bad. But make sure to tune in tonight. It is 8:30 Eastern Time, Hi-Fi Vega Network. We do reverse polarity. It's fun. We have a good time.
Yeah.
We take off the gloves and we say what we feel. We mean what we feel. It's a lot of fun. Still no dyno for the Morel amps. I'm trying to see how much power I'm putting to my tweeters. Exactly the amount of power that it's rated for.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what you're putting to your tweeters. So if you're running it at 4 ohm, you're getting exactly that power. That's it. No more, no less. Maybe less, but no more. Yes, says Flynn. Which you prefer, 112-inch sub or 210s? Ooh. So I'm assuming ported is on the table, because if ported isn't on the table, then obviously 210s, because I want more cone area. Man, I've had both over my lifespan of car audio. I've had a lot of 10s. You know, thinking about it, I've had a lot of 10s. I don't know. Something about a 12, though, man. I feel like a 12 just like, you know, because, all right, so we can look at, I guess feel like no question is just as simple as it seems on the surface. 210s or 112. Because, you know, Jesus Christ, put one of those sundown beast subwoofers we had the other day at a ported enclosure.
Yeah, it's gonna destroy.
You know, that's
Probably,
breaking.
I don't know.
It's cracking the Earth's core. So I want that. Or a Bobby Gately.
Bobby Gately 8
Yeah.
inch.
Oscar, we like audio frog, or we like frogs. You can have fried frog legs. Do you like hybrid audio Unity 6x9s with the 2.5 Unity? I've never heard those particular combinations of the hybrids. I have heard them. We do have a customer that has them, but he has the regular sizes, so I don't know how they sound. Want to see an amp dyno of the Moscone. All right, well, if you want to send me one, I'll be more than happy to do it. Loud and clear, best 6.5 component set in your opinion. There is no such thing as the best 6.5 component in my opinion. There is a ton of different 6.5s that are designed to do specific things other than just sound good. The best example of this is a company called Blam. Blam makes like 6.5s that all cost about the same amount of money, but they all have different sound signatures. They all do different things. You can intermix the mid-range with different tweeters and get a different sound. So what is awesome for me, you might sit in there and go, man, that sucks. And I'll be like, what are you talking about, bro? This thing is great, man. Pinky's out, sipping champagne. And you're like, bro, I'm a beer and pretzels kind of guy. I want this shit to rip my eyelids back and, you know, show the tattoos on the inside. So, no. I mean, and there again, the other thing, too, is expensive doesn't always mean the best for you. Now, listen to what I'm saying there. Expensive doesn't always mean the best for you. You might be, not you particular, but you as a metaphor, might be happy with some loudspeakers. You know, you might want some Hertz SPL shows or some of the, you know, crazy loud ground zero stuff, you know, and like for me, that's not what I want. I don't want a Neo tweeter in my dash. I don't want a horn, Neo horn, you know, so there's a lot of things that go into that statement.
Ding, 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 ding.
What?
That's Tommy.
Oh, Tommy who?
Tommy.
Thanks, Dean. I have Pioneer components now that are okay. Hey, man, rock on. I mean, definitely. Dude, I remember the first set of 6.5s I got.
Okay.
They were JBL GT 6.5-inch coaxials. This was probably 88. Up until then, I'd had some like 5 1/4s. I had some Redline 5 1/4s, and of course, I had the Peerless Tweeters. And I had never heard, like, I just got these 6.5s. Like, somebody didn't need them. Like, hey, you want these? Like, they're speakers. I'll cut another hole in my door.
Why not?
And I remember listening to those and going, oh, this is different. You know, because it was 6.5, where I'd only listen to 5 1/4s and tweeters. And to hear that mid-bass sound that I'd never heard before was really weird and pretty awesome. But not to my standard. Well, you know, gotta move on. If it ain't no alto tweeter, I don't want it.
Okay.
Listen to him, man. I tell you, he's worse than you.
What?
Oh, he's a pink Oscar. Pinky's out, man. Pinky's out all the way. You know.
Oh yeah. It's like, excuse me, sir.
Sorry, I can't touch that screwdriver. It's not a snap-on.
Excuse me, sir.
Pinky's out. I can't work with those tools. Oh God, was that say Craftsman? Burn my hands. Joking.
She's not
I'm not joking. Are there any amps out there other than the Zapco AP line that only have per channel gain controls? Actually, no. If you want a per channel gain control, this guy right here, the MPS 2.15 Limited has independent left and right gain controls. And I'll take that one.
Oscar has
Yeah, but no, that's that one there has independent left and right gain control. Fernando,
Yes.
what's up?
What's up? What's going on?
I don't know.
How you guys doing? Hell, Fernandez, what's up, brother? Tesla life make you different.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Tesla and Snap-on.
Well, he's now
ready.
like the envy of every suburban white chick in the USA. You know, it's just what he is. He's the envy of them all. Good box, tuned 32, it slams, but some songs don't pound like they should. You need an epicenter. Just pick up an epicenter. And if you go, good point. Pick up an epicenter, and if you go to Audio Control right now, that's audiocontrol.com, and type in the Epicenter Micro, which is the new epicenter coming out here. If you pre-order it, and in the promo code at the very end, if you type in 5, the number 5, star, free hat.
Right there. Hang on.
Oh, Fernando's going to pull it up.
Right there.
Hold on. If you type that in, use promo code 5-star free hat, then when the epicenter comes to your house, naturally, you're going to have an Audio Control free hat. How awesome is that? And your music will sound better. So you'll be able to wrap wear your hat sideways. Be like, bro, check out how deep my bass is now, dog. That was terrible. I apologize.
Really?
Gurus of audio systems. When you have an epicenter, how do you properly tune the sub-amp? Well, there's a couple different ways you can do this, but we found what works the best is with the epicenter effect turned down, you go in and you set up your sub-amp. I wouldn't go anything, you got to be careful, depending on the type of music you're going to be listening to. But you're adding an effect. Sometimes it acts as a boost. There's no question about it. But if you set it like 0 dB or -5 and you have the effect turned up, which isn't how you're going to listen to it most of the time, then when you do it sounds lifeless. So the practice we do is if we're going to set it up for 5 or 10, which -5, -10, whichever we're going to do, we just have the epicenter down, set it up for -5, -10. Because the other thing too is most of the time when you're going to be using the epicenter, it's for music that has no bass anyways. So go to town.
Yeah. Ooh, wow.
I have a 15-inch sub on a 3.9 cubic foot, 32 hertz, 1,000 watts. Not all music is good on such a big box. Definitely will not be. It reminds me, so many years ago, we used to be a Diamond dealer when Diamond was originally Diamond. And Diamond used to make, these were the oh God, I can't think of what they called them. They still make them. The carbon fiber cones, Neo Magnet. Anyways, they had these transmission line boxes that they wanted us to make with like these 50, 60-inch ports. And it sounded great for for bass music. At the time, that's what we all listened to. Hex, they were the Hex. I'm sorry, the Hex, the original Hex. And built this giant 215 box, put in this guy's Tahoe. Because he's like, this is what he needs, blah, blah, blah. Get it in there, and he immediately puts in like some shit that doesn't have bass. Mm-hmm. And it went from sounding like 215s, because first we played, our hardcore dropping bass, Magic Mike, and just, oh my God. And then he puts this other stuff in, and it literally sounded like there was a 10 in the car. And he's just like, bro, what's up with that? I'm like, it's not what it's tuned to, man. It's not tuned for this. He's like, but this is what I listen to. All right, so about your luck, I'm out of here. At the time, it was JJ. You screwed up. Need to update my head unit to double din. Any good sound prices? Man, it's a head unit. Right now, I got nothing. Nothing. None of the new stuff for 2022, whatever. I guess that's the year. Will be out until probably late second quarter ish sometime. Definitely second quarter. There are companies that are coming out with new head units that haven't been introduced yet that we get to see in 2 weeks. They're going to bring some of their new head units that we can't talk about yet. So that'll be cool. We'll show you those. Diamond Audio Hex Series. That's them, baby. B2 and ground pounder 8-inch. Just a one-note woofer or possible more musical install. I mean, a lot of those big woofers are, man. They do one thing really well, and that's just bah!
No, but this is a B2 Audio Ground 08.
Or Ground 08.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, like the Ground 08, like the small 8 that you had in your car.
Yeah, that's not.
No, that was musical though.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a giant magnet,
No.
Like, didn't weigh 50 pounds.
Correct, no.
So, if you can find a head unit, get it. It's so much stuff out of stock. 100%, right?
That's for sure. Yeah, you're right.
If you're a Pioneer guy, give Paul a call. I know he has some Pioneers. Probably ship you some out. So set amp gains with epicenter knob turn all the way down. I would, yeah. That's what we found works the best. But keep in mind now, so you gotta use that. Mm-hmm. So when you're turning it up and you start turning up that epicenter, that volume needs to start going the other way. And that epicenter, so when the epicenter knob's going up, that volume knob needs to start turning down if you're playing like hardcore hip hop bass music, like today's style music, because you're going to be at it. But when you're listening to old crappy guy stuff like I listen to, then you're fine, because it's just
So it's just old.
It's just old, man. Van Halen's just old. Ooh, dude, every night. So I haven't mounted the Van Halen guitar yet. For Christmas, Sue and Haley bought me Eddie Van Halen's guitar replica. Like, best gift ever. So right now it's sitting next to the TV. So every night when I'm sitting there, I just kind of like daze and stare at the guitar and go, man, I really wish I knew how to play guitar. And then I go, no, I don't. I don't have time for that shit. I'm just going to stare at my guitar.
No, I mean, just touch it.
I don't even touch it. I don't want to. I'm not worthy. I just want to look at it. It's so sexy. It is the coolest thing ever. Would you recommend getting an audio control Matrix Plus for an Android head unit that has just 2 volts pre-out? Can't hurt. Can't hurt. So there's a phrase that I heard a long time ago in car audio that I thought it's like 20 years ago. And the phrase was, you can't shine a turd. All right? So you can do whatever you want to it, but you can't shine a turd. You can't make it gold. All right? You can make it better, but you can't shine a turd. So when you're looking at an Android head unit that only has a 2 volt output, that's the least of your problems. It's the sound that's coming out of it that sucks. Now, adding that matrix to it, that's going to give it the best fighting chance for sure. If you don't want to go full DSP, but you still have a source unit that's not here. But yes, I would definitely add a Matrix Plus. I'd add a Matrix Plus to just about any inexpensive radio that exists. It's like if you were one of those guys that bought that
Tesla
inexpensive Pioneer Kenwood Sony that, you know, at the time you were just like, man, it's a screen. You didn't know anything, like you weren't in the know. And then at, you know, a year and a half later, and you're like, wow, I kind of should have got a better radio. No, just buy a Matrix, put it in there, and you'll be in business.
You'll be in the Matrix now.
Soldering. Do you have a helpful video? I need that help, please. Well, if you caught The Boring Life of Dean and Haley when Haley put her new radio in her car, she did solder, and I schooled her on it there. We did talk about it briefly in that, so you could always watch that one. If anything else, it is kind of funny watching Haley put her new Kenwood radio in her car. It was a good time. Anybody know where the rear sound bar amp on a 2016 Jeep Wrangler? It's all one amplifier, and it's up in the driver's footwell area. So it's either it's either right here or it's right here.
2016.
Yeah, it's all this. Yeah. It hasn't moved. It stays in the driver's footwell. So there isn't a separate amplifier for the soundbar. Time. I bypassed the epicenter and saved my gains. Yeah. What do you got? What? Read it.
Hang on. What is it?
I don't know.
You need to watch some all.
Mythbusters.
Yeah.
They proved you can polish a turd. Okay. I mean, I could see that. They could definitely see that.
Yeah. No.
All right, listen, guys. This has been fun. This has been 5 Minutes of 5 Star. Don't forget to tune in tonight. Don't forget to head over to Audio Control and pre-order your Epicenter Micro and use the coupon code 5STAR free hat. And of course, don't forget to head over to D&F Tool Drawer and pick up your IRTA. That's right, your IRTA 2 is the tool that you need. Or at least head over to D&F Tool Drawer, click on the IRTA 2 tab, and watch the videos there showing you what you're missing in your life.
Because
and how,
you need that.
how your life could be better.
Yeah.
So check those videos out. And otherwise, we'll see you guys tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. It's Friday. That means at 9 o'clock on Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips, the YouTube channel, we'll be doing the news. Can't wait.
Guys.
You guys have a great rest of your night.
See you tomorrow. Bye.